Well, hello everybody. It's actually kind of good evening. I know I always say this when I do these is I haven't done them for a very long time, and I literally haven't done it for a long time. So I will share with you what happened this morning as to why I'm doing this, right? So a long time ago, I was doing these when I was trying to adopt a little girl to give her back to her mom. I was just like, I don't know, distraught, crazy, on my mind, any word you can think of possibly. That's what I was, right? And so I was doing these, and I think for the longest time, I believe anyway, that God has told me to like do these videos again, and I've been hesitant. Well, the other day, I heard something about being disobedient, and I was like, God, I'm not being disobedient. I'm like, I've done everything that I believe that you've told me to do, with the exception of making these videos. But I'm like, I always come up with these excuses, right? Like this, that, whatever, right? I have like all these reasons, right? I have nothing to say, whatever, like I don't know, just like all these reasons. Okay, this morning I was listening to this person. They make these videos and it's like prayers, and it was popped up, it was on my YouTube when I pulled it up because I was going to listen to some motivational stuff this morning because I really needed it, and this came up and it was about being disobedient. And I was like, second time within a matter of like 2 to 3 days you're telling me something about disobedience. And literally, when the Bible talks about Peter, like how he disobeyed God, right? Well, he was talking about like when Jesus was nearing like the cross, right? And Jesus told him, hey Peter, you're going to deny me 3 times, right? And the feeling that Peter felt, like obviously I'm not Peter, I didn't live back then, I don't know what he felt, but if I could imagine how he felt, it would be that way. Like, oh my God, have you ever read the Bible and like it's just like stabbed you? Like you just feel it, like it's almost like a lightning bolt coming from the sky, right? And just stabbing you in your heart, and you're like, oh my gosh, that word is for me, right? That is literally what I felt this morning when the guy was praying and he was talking about disobedience. And one of the reasons I told God is like, I can't get up early enough in the morning. Not an excuse, because I guess I could if I really wanted to. But that's one of the reasons. Like I just don't have enough time in the morning, right? I can't push myself to get back up at 4:30 in the morning again. I guess maybe one day, I don't know. Anyways, so what was I saying? Oh God, see, I lost it already. But he's talking about disobedience. I don't know, I lost completely what I was going to say. Sorry. But like the disobedience, and it was crazy. I think I was talking about like how it felt, right? How Peter would feel. And I could only imagine, and it just hurt my heart. And I was like, God, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. And it's like, I started thinking about like all the times like I felt like God has told me to do something, right? Trying to adopt a little girl, right? If you don't know me, like I was trying to adopt a little girl, don't know my story, I was trying to adopt her. I had her like, I think 4 years, something like that. They gave her back to her mom. That was the most heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching thing in the world, right? And I was like, but God, you told me. God, you told me. And I will be honest, for probably about 2 weeks, I was like in this daze, out of my mind type of whatever, right? It took a very long time for me to be able to not cry and do these videos. So if I remember correctly, I think she went back to her mom in June or July of 2017. We're in 2025, y'all. It has taken me literally probably this long to not cry about that child, because that was my baby, right? Second thing, and I'm just talking about big things that I was thinking about this morning, that I believe that God had told me to do, and it did not turn out the way that I wanted it to, right? And the next thing that I think of, it was being a cop. That's all I ever wanted to be since I was like 18. Go out there, get these child predators, these people that traffic women, that sexually abuse women, right? Like that was like what I wanted, right? And it didn't work out. I ended up hurting myself. But which in turn, it did help me because I got a lot of help in healing that I needed. Had I probably obviously not gotten otherwise, because y'all, I'm almost 50, and I haven't or didn't at that time get the healing right because it started in 2019 with me trying to be a cop, and so I didn't get the healing in 2019. So however old I was then, like 43, 44, something like that. So 43, yeah. So I thought about all those things. It's like, but God, like, you told me to do this, and then another thing, right? He told me to write this book. I kept putting it off. Finally, like when COVID happened 2020, I wrote the book, kept putting it off, didn't know whether to publish it, what to do with it, blah blah blah, right? So I finally did, like last year, September, October-ish. I published it on Amazon, right? That's how many people have bought it. I bought one book myself, and I don't think anybody else has bought any, right? So it's just like, I feel like an array of different things, array of different examples of where I feel like God has told me to do something and they haven't panned out. So I'm like, God, what is this? God, I feel like God is wanting me to do something else, right? And I've been trying to do it since the end of 2023. We're in 2025, y'all, right? The beginning of 2025. And that really hasn't panned out either. And I remember last year going and getting prayer when I went to church one day and about this thing that I won't mention right now that God has told me to do. And everything came into my head about doing these videos. That's all that kept like coming to my mind. Do these videos. And I'm like, well, what does this got to do with this? Nothing, right? And those are just examples where it's like, I feel like God has told me to do something and nothing really has come of it, of what I wanted, right? Or what I felt or what I saw happening and blah, 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 right? So this morning, I wish I could do these in the morning because I feel them more then, right? But it came to me. The problem with us humans is we think it's all about us. And really, this is how much it's about us. Nothing is about us. It's all about God. It's all about him, right? And I was like, oh Lord, y'all, like, if I would have did this morning, I would have been boo-hooing, crying, I'm telling you, because my heart hurt so bad to know that I was being disobedient to God. Like, I didn't really look at it like not doing these videos was being disobedient to him, but it really is. And that hurt because, like, he has done so much for me. He has been there so much for me. And I'm not going to start crying because I'm about to go in the gym. But he has done so much and been there for me. And I mean, he's God. Like, there's no one greater. There's nothing greater than him. And to know that I have hurt his heart by being disobedient. And I was going to look this up and I forgot. But I don't want to say it and be incorrect because I haven't checked, right? Because I was trying to think about, okay, is disobedience a sin? I mean, I believe it is. And I was trying to think of a scripture, but only thing that was coming to my mind was disobedience is like a sin or something like that, something in that regard, right? But at any rate, I know that I hurt his heart, and it hurt me so bad this morning to know that I hurt his heart, because that's God. I'm not trying to hurt him. Like, I hurt him enough when I sin, right? And so I was so hurt. I was like, you know what? By the time, okay, this, right? Like, when I get to the gym, I will sit in the parking lot and I will do this video on disobedience, God. I promise you. Like, so here I am doing this video on disobedience. So if you're like me, you're disobedient. You didn't really, I mean, while you knew you were being disobedient, like something didn't really like click in your head that you were being disobedient and how much it hurt God. Like, do whatever he told you to do. And remember, it's not about us. We like to think it's about us, but it's not about us. So no matter how it pans out, works out, how it ends up, it doesn't matter, because God has a purpose. And sometimes he just wants to see, are you going to listen? Oh, ouch. Big ouch for me, right? But here's video number 1. I'm not going to promise that I'm going to do them every day. I do have some stuff that I feel like God has given me, and I will do videos on those. Like I said, it'll just be like every day now. Like when I go to the gym, I'll sit in the parking lot and I'll do the video if I felt like God is giving me something to share. Then when I get home, like I will sit at home before I go inside the house, because it's a little chaos with this dog I got. I will sit there and I will do the video then. Like, I will find a way to get these done, because I don't want to hurt God's heart. Like, not any more than I already do. I don't want to be disobedient to God. And like I said, last year when I prayed at my church, you know, for whatever else I felt like he wanted to do, and then he was telling me this, and I wasn't doing this in these videos, so this wasn't panning out. I don't understand how the two correlate. I don't understand nothing. Like, let's just be real. Like, the scripture talks about how God's ways are higher than our ways, his thoughts higher than our thoughts. It's so true. So true. He sees everything, knows everything. I don't. I am just here on earth for whatever time frame he has me here. And yeah, I don't know. But if you're being disobedient, like I said, do what he said. Do what he said, because it's not about us. It's totally not about us. It's all about him. You don't know what purpose he's got. You don't even know. Sometimes he wants us to do things, obviously, one, to just see if we're going to, not see if we're going to listen, because he already knows. But it's more so for ourselves, right? For us to just be obedient. And then also, you never know how you have impacted someone else, helped someone else. Sometimes, you know, God will let us know how someone else has been impacted, how we've helped someone else, and sometimes he will not let us know, right? So it's really not up to us. The only thing that's up to us is being obedient to him, following what he wants us to do, right? Yeah, that's literally all I got. I hope this video worked, because sometimes when I do it in the car, I don't know what happened, but it wasn't recording my voice. So hopefully this worked. I don't know. But be obedient. Don't be disobedient like Mary. Be obedient. Be obedient and do what God tells you to do. That's what I got for you today. Take it for what it's worth. I'm talking to you. Do that thing that God told you to do. Even if you think that God told you to do it, obviously, and if it lines up with his word, it's not something morally, ethically against him, then just do it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. If it works, great, fabulous. But if it doesn't, it's okay, because you don't know why it happened, right? Like, I wanted to be a cop because I wanted to be a cop, right? And get the scum, right? But it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, right? Okay. Look at it now. It's not safe to be a cop. You know, kudos to all you. Thank you to all you who are cops, all you are who are in the military. You're fabulous. My hat's off to you. Love you guys, support you, pray for you, everything, right? But in that, I got the healing that I needed, right? That was more important. I don't really want to say more important, but hopefully you get what I mean, right? Like, I needed that healing, because I didn't start going to see counseling, a therapist, until I started trying to be a cop, right? So, Jesus, just be obedient. Listen to God. It doesn't matter what the end result is. Just do what he says, and then you can sleep at night peacefully, right? And you will know that you have not hurt his heart in that area, because we hurt him so many other times. All right. I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your week. Love y'all. Bye.